Musicians Talk Show with Dallas Dwight and Matt Tolley.
Welcome to the Musicians Talk Show podcast, episode 69.
What? I don't know why I was
Now
going
we
to say
giggle like a bunch of 12-year-olds. I'm one of your two co-hosts, Dallas Dwight. I want to point out that I giggled less than my co-host,
I don't think you did, Matt Tolley.
Matt Tolley.
I don't think you giggled less.
How's
I
it
think you
going?
started the giggling and made me giggle. I was giggling at your giggle.
And
actually.
now we proceed to laugh for an hour and a half.
I'm mature, dude. I don't even think I thought that was funny. I just laughed that you laughed.
Nope, you
Yep.
thought it was funny.
Nope,
For sure.
didn't.
Welcome to episode 69.
Yo.
We're going to have fun. We're going to talk about a lot of different things. We got a lot of stuff on the agenda.
Yeah.
Kind of like last week, it's a hodgepodge of a bunch of stuff. Let's start out by talking about Playroom Fest, what you did this weekend, basically. The weekend recap. That's kind of become
we
a
should always
segment
start
now,
with that. Yeah, the weekend recap. Cool. So yeah, the shows as normal. We're all out there doing stuff. Dallas's OCD's kicking in. Fixing
Well, I
my
just don't want to
cable.
put too much pressure on that
Oh, no, sorry. Not OCD. Turns out he was smart. So what I did this weekend, I didn't have a show myself. Kyle was actually out of town racing, our rhythm guitar player.
Same, I had a weekend off. It was
Yeah,
nice.
so there wasn't any practice or anything. So I volunteered to do the help out at the Playroom Festival over there. So it was all the Playroom artists and in the parking lot and stuff like that. I think I talked about it last week on maybe like that it was coming up. But it went well. It went really well.
remember
It was fun. It was like it was good networking. Like I sold 6 Prep and Barium shirts, and I
Nice.
wasn't even playing because
Nice.
my room was there and I had all my stuff in there. So it was, that's good. You know, I figure why not promote myself a little bit while I'm there.
That's good.
Yeah. And I was helping all the bands, so you know they were all asking me like, "Oh, you're in a band, right?" You know, if they didn't know me. But
I feel like they all should've
awesome
known you,
show,
yeah.
dude. Like I got to see Winter's Gate. Oh, I should talk about first of all, it was supposed to be outdoors and everything like
Yeah.
that, and it started that way. The first 3 bands went up there.
Well, how many bands
outside.
were there?
There were 6 bands or 7 bands.
So half was outside.
Yeah, so basically half. And you know what? There was more. There
Charity
must have been
Case
like
end up
8
playing?
bands. Yeah, they did. They played inside.
Okay,
Because what happened is halfway through, three bands in, the rain came in like so hard, dude. Like blew the tents over all the what do they call it? Easy Up tents or whatever. They were over the mixing board, over the merch. People were selling food. Everybody's shit just blew away. Only Mad Park, actually, they invested in these concrete blocks that you put down and then you tether your tent to.
Mhm.
And they were expensive. He said we paid like too much for them, but theirs was the only tent that they didn't have to hold down because their shit was just down.
That's funny.
Yeah, it was good.
Wise investment.
Everything got wet. Shirts got soaked. They're gonna be cleaning shirts, cleaning. Hopefully the equipment didn't get too busted up because the mixing.
So it was
board,
an emergency, move everything inside.
It happened so fast, dude. It happened so fast. Winter's Gate was staging on the side of the stage, and then Phantom and Friends were on stage, like probably 4 songs in, maybe 5 songs in. Unfortunate for them, the rain, took their time, and they didn't even get to go back on. So, but anyways, when the rain hit, we got everything inside as quick as possible, and then shifted
I bet
gears.
that was just chaos.
It was chaos
For like 5
It
to
was-
10 minutes.
Yeah,
of
I
just
had to start
chaos.
drinking again, so it was stressful.
That's
I was
funny.
worried about everybody's stuff. I was grabbing, Winter's Gates guitar cabs. I was grabbing any floor pad, anything like that. You would not want to get wet. Like,
Mhm.
so anyways, we scrambled, got it all in and everything like that, and then we moved it to the production room, which is the studio room. So it sounds great in there, and they just put lights in there, so it was well lit. It was a beautiful, beautiful setup. Less people, obviously, could put less people in the production room.
Yeah.
It fits about 45 people max, and then people stand out in the hallway and listen. So, catered. The food was awesome.
That's good.
Yeah, food truck and a trailer type thing.
What was the food truck?
What was the food truck? They had awesome Philly cheesesteaks.
While you think about that, I'm going to
eat.
eat sushi after this, and I'm pumped.
Oh yeah.
You
Well,
said
are
good
you getting
food.
it from a food truck?
No, I hope not.
Well,
Food truck sushi.
I don't know if you'd want food
That's
truck
a phenomenal band name. Food truck sushi.
sushi. Dude, it just sounds like it's gonna make you sick.
All right, I have to add that to my list.
That's like that's a sound of that's a word that makes you feel sick.
Food truck sushi. Yeah, that definitely does. That's like not the right combination of words.
No, that's so funny. Those words don't belong together. They're like a bad
here we go.
relationship.
God damn it.
They're like a toxic relationship. Food truck and sushi. You can't put those two
Yeah.
together.
So anytime I come up with a funny band name, I add it to my band name list. We've talked about this before.
Right,
And my
right.
favorite part is it's usually a couple weeks to a month between adding them. So I love seeing the most recent one I added.
Yeah.
Tie-dye tidal wave.
Tie-dye tidal wave. That's a good one. Could you imagine what that looks like?
What about a war rooster?
Ooh, that sounds heavy. dude, War Rooster. Yeah.
I love.
You can't snuff the
here's
War
several
Rooster.
good ones.
You can't.
Full-time ogre.
Here's the thing about the War Rooster. You can't snuff the War Rooster. Oh,
No.
they've come to snuff the
the
War
War
Rooster.
And then the last one I'll leave you with is Ginger Ninja.
Ginger Ninja. I think you told me
Isn't
that
that
one.
amazing?
Yeah, that's a good one.
I don't come up with half these. It's just something like you just said.
Pops up,
or,
yeah,
I just
pops
said.
up.
Like it just kind of comes
I
up.
thought of
you
one
know?
the other day and I can't remember it. And I lost it. I thought to myself.
So it
like,
used to be
that's
that way
funny.
for me all the time, and I
Write 'em
quickly
down
decided
now.
I have to keep a list.
It's just like
the one I just
ideas.
added was like number 97 or
Yeah.
something like.
Just
there's
like
a ton of
song
them.
ideas, you know, like you have to put them down or don't expect to remember it.
Yep.
Some people live by that rule. We've talked about this before. If it doesn't stick out in their memory, if they can't remember it, then it's not good. Which I don't know if that's true. I don't think that's true.
That's true to a point.
Some things like that you'll remember, you know they're good because you remember them, but that doesn't mean everything that you don't remember wasn't good.
So one instance for me is when I'm in lessons, I'm noodling around sometimes, and I'll come up with a cool riff,
Right.
and all my students know I have to record it right then.
Right.
It just takes 2
So
seconds.
hang on, I gotta stop, guys. Stop what you're doing.
I don't even say that. I just play over them.
Yeah,
like I'll
okay.
just they don't even know
Close
I'm recording
enough,
because like
and, yeah.
you can hear them playing in the background. But the most important thing is I can hear what I did.
Exactly.
So
Close mic it.
sometimes they'll be like, what is that? What are you doing? And I'll be like, oh, recording because, and I tell them like you have to capture
get these
ideas when you
ideas.
have them because the idea itself might not be great. You might revisit me like this is garbage, but it might spark another idea or, it might be a sick idea. You never know.
It's almost like a creative bank you can go to. Like I have like hundreds and thousands of fucking voice memos that are just me playing guitar, me humming, me singing, me doing anything. Like
when we do the concept album, I have a whole list of stuff labeled like concept album breakdown, concept album verse.
That is so helpful to go back to, to look at that and get a frame of mind because when you're building an album.
I think I have a couple I'll show you after this actually.
Yeah. I saw that there were some changes on there. Actually, I went and read it just recently. But I like that because when you're writing an album that is a story and it's all together, it all needs to coincide with each other. Then you want to be able to reference your overall plan and your overall like what the objective is per song, like what you're going for, and also vibe wise, you come up with a cool riff idea. You may not have a particular song in mind for it, but you go and you look and you're like, oh, I need something climactic here, anyways. So you put that there, whatever, and it starts that way.
100%.
That's cool. That's cool that you share that with your students, though. That you're saving ideas because I think people who don't know that, they never get that, they may be handicapping themselves as far as like being creative.
Like, oh, I had this really cool idea and then now I can't remember.
Exactly. So you're letting all your ideas just go.
Sometimes the idea is not as cool as you thought it was.
That's true, but you still have it.
You
Why
need
not?
to be able to make that call.
Still have it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Especially with iPhones and everything now, like it's too easy to
so
do
easy.
it. So
It's
why
so
not?
easy.
And the app we use, by the way, we recommended it many times.
Memos, yeah.
Music memos. It's super easy.
Yeah.
And you can add bass and drums. You can do a lot of cool stuff with it beyond just a voice memo app.
Exactly. So everybody uses
It's basically a voice memo app specifically for musicians.
Yeah, it's perfect.
And you can even hum stuff in it.
Yeah, you can
and
do
then
all
it'll
kinds
pick
of
up
stuff.
what key you're in.
Nice.
So you'll be able to see like, oh, I was singing a G or whatever,
Yes, it's a really helpful app. Utilize the hell out of that.
Yeah, it's really good. And I'm pretty sure it's free. It's kind of buggy. It definitely has some bugs, but
so does the voice
it's a
memo
good
app. Yeah.
Let's wrap up Playroom Fest. So let's go back, kind of circle back to that because I don't think we finished that.
Yeah.
You said you were talking about Winter's Gate line checking. You wanted to say something.
Oh, yeah. So it's funny because they were the only screaming band, like the only one with screaming vocalists. And when there's line checking, and they're the first band in the production room, so we're getting from outside inside, and whole new setup, whole new sound check. And the first one to check is a screaming vocalist who there's not any other ones, right?
Right.
So and the sound guy I don't think knew either. I don't think he knew what he was in for. So then we got all their stuff set up, and then the very last they're checking that mic and making sure he's like got his level or whatever. And he's just screaming with no music, and he's just
just checking it. Yeah.
In this room full of people who just got soaked, and they're all inside, and he's just like screaming straight into this mic, and I was just thinking to myself, like, it's not the most flattering when you just like if it's just you screaming, like it definitely like kind of needs music to understand what he's going for. And then when they played, I mean, dude, they're amazing, but it was just an interesting moment. Like I was like noticing happen, like he's sound checking right now or line checking, not even sound checking, line checking, with screaming vocals.
Yeah, that's interesting.
Yeah, but dude, they killed it. They are so
I
tight.
like Winter's Gate.
They are so tight. I want to play a show with them for sure. Maybe we'll get you guys on there too.
Yeah, they're good. They remind me of Whitechapel a lot.
Yeah, we should all do a show together. That'd be fun.
We don't really fit in that bill.
Yeah, it's true. That's true. You might not want to mix and match like that.
I was thinking of like, playing shows with fans of bands who will also be
Yeah, absolutely. You want to like something that you're going to have a good chance of a crossover.
Right.
Of course. Yeah, so Winter's Gate, then Adrian Crutchfield of, Prince's saxophone player for a little while. I'm not sure how long or what I know he played for Prince, but he played a lot of cool stuff, his original stuff. And he introduced to me an instrument I've never even heard of or seen. And then now I'm drawing a blank on what it's called. There's an E something. I want to say it was like an E stick, but it was the shape of a stick. So it was like the saxophone, but without the horn on the bottom of it. So it's just a straight stick, and the buttons are all the same as the saxophone. And what it allows him to do is basically what a talk box does for a guitar or any instrument you plug it into, I guess. It changes the notes of his voice. He sings through the microphone, and it goes through this thing, and it pitch corrects with what he's playing on the saxophone or fake saxophone, E-saxophone, whatever the fuck it's called. But yeah, it was cool. And so it sounds kind of like T-Pain-y, like it's auto-tune, it's very auto-tune, but it's also Peter Frampton-y, which is not auto-tune. That's a talk box, it's like, you feel like I do.
Yeah, that's
like that kind of thing. Yeah. And he killed it. He's an amazing musician, cool guy too. Like we had a lot of fun just hanging out talking to him. So, and then awesome. Abby K, I saw Abby K for the first time, who was the bassist that Eddie signed to a management deal. And then and she was great. Then afterwards, Eddie Z's band Charity Case closed it down, and it was a long night because the rain put a little bit of a hiccup in the timing. But they cut everybody's sets a little bit short, but it still went late. Yeah, we were done probably by 11. Oh, it's supposed to be done like 10:30, so it just went like another half hour long. Everybody got like a song or two cut from their set. I can't remember what the exact was, but yep, good show.
Did you get
altogether.
Video of everybody?
Yes,
nice.
Yes, I do have video.
I want to see some of that at the end.
Yeah.
So Friday night, you and I got together.
Yep.
And we
did some work.
Yeah, you want to talk about that? You know way more than me.
I only know because I've done it sometimes.
I observed,
before, and now you know.
I know.
Now you know like what the deal is. But yeah, so I've talked about this at length multiple times. When you buy a guitar, and especially if it's a cheaper model guitar, a lot of times where they skimp, the first thing they skimp on is electronics, because people don't know what they're looking at when they look at electronics. Like it looks like a regular wiring in there. You're thinking it's fine, right? You'd be surprised at how much tone suck is out of that cabling. So what Dallas wanted to do, and I encouraged him a lot because I think it's such a smart move, and your new Les Paul actually has a circuit board wiring.
Yeah,
so
to clarify, the wiring on that is not bad.
No, it's not bad.
It was actually overkill.
It's overkill. It had lots of push pull. It had push pull on every tone, on every knob, right?
Yeah, and then you could also go in the dip switch and change what each one does. So there was like 32 options or something you could do.
And you wanted to go. I
wanted 0 options.
Well, yeah, exactly. You want a straightforward Les Paul for sure, but you also wanted to go / pickup. So right away we knew that was going to be a problem because that whole system's plug and play, solderless. Yeah, that comes with your Les Paul.
Yep.
So then we bought a new wiring kit as well, a traditional vintage style wiring kit for a Les Paul.
From Mojo Tone, which we learned are real close to us. They're only a couple hours away. They're in Burgaw, North Carolina. That shocked the hell out of
me, dude. That shocked the hell out of me.
Right north of Wilmington.
I bought stuff from them before, and maybe I never noticed that it was right here in North Carolina.
And I've heard the company name all over the place. They've been around for a while, but I never knew until that box came in. It says Burgaw, North Carolina,
it says all over it. Yeah, I know. So I was really shocked that.
Yeah.
But they probably changed their packaging since the last time I bought.
It was a nice packaging.
Really
They've
nice.
upped their packaging game, I'm sure, because it was.
And they do solderless stuff too. But the problem is then you have to get / pickups with the end on it. So what are you gonna, you know what I mean? How do you get that plug?
Like plugs?
How are you gonna?
I'm sure you could buy the plug and solder the plug on.
Must be.
You still have to solder it. But
yeah.
So it kind of defeats the purpose.
Yeah, but later on, if you wanted to have all your pickups with those plugs on them, then you can just switch out any pickups you want. We're not really that kind of guitarist. We pick the pickups we like and do that. Yeah, it's like, so for us, it's not that. But replacing all that wiring inside and putting the new pickups in, dude, that thing screams. Like, it's just so awesome.
Yeah, through your JVM sounded amazing.
And we invested in a new soldering iron, which is something I've never done.
Yes.
I've never bought a
It wasn't even expensive. It was like $100.
An expensive one. Yeah, it wasn't even that expensive, but compared to the $15 or $20 you spend on one of those hobby store ones that are just, on-off switch, no variation on
this thing goes to 700 degrees.
This thing is 80 watts or something like that. It goes to like 750 degrees in like 30 seconds or something. 28 seconds.
Heats up really fast, yeah.
And then it goes in standby mode when you're not soldering, like when you put it in the stand. I think
so it doesn't just sit there at 700 degrees
for no reason. Exactly. So it's super badass. The stand.
Yeah, it comes with a little stand. It's really nice. Yeah. Nice long high quality cable, which actually mattered.
Yep, does matter a lot.
We sat the thing further away and we were able to sit. It was a little more comfortable.
Had the wand wherever we wanted to put it. So it was good, man. It was great. It went pretty flawless. We ate in the middle of it and chilled and talked a lot.
Yeah. So we pulled.
I don't know what was like 3 hours.
Yeah, something
we
like
got together like 7, wasn't it? Yeah.
So we pulled the pickups out
and
pulled all the wiring out. So we basically gutted the entire thing.
You switch and everything, because all that stuff was plug and play, and we wanted to get rid of the plug and play style. So it's hardwired now, hand wired by Mojo Tone.
Old school. Yeah, it sounds really good.
It's amazing.
I haven't had a chance to hook it up to my Kemper yet, but I will be doing that.
That's going to be cool. That's going to be really awesome.
Yeah. I can't. So busy this week, man. Oh, I know what I want to talk about. I'll add it to the list while you keep finishing this up.
Right on. So that kind of sparked us on a guitar working type thing where we want to just, I'm going to touch up my guitars. I know, especially now that I have a badass soldering iron.
Now we have a good soldering iron, yeah.
Yeah. So I'm going to do some work on mine. I've been wanting to do for a while, but I've been just kind of waiting. Partly because it costs money. Like you should know that these wiring kits are not cheap. They're I don't know what was the Mojo Tone one.
Mojo Tone I think was like $100.
Yeah, so $100, and that's on the expensive side.
The pickups were like $200 though.
But they're hand wired, and vintage styles, like which is not easy to do. Like you have to go get those old parts, and they're higher precision, like capacitors. That kind of stuff is
my favorite part. Is what do they call the little pill looking thing in there?
Little pill thing.
It's the capacitor thing. Yeah, that's what the capacitor is. The pill thing. So they call it vitamin T.
Yeah,
which
vitamin
I love.
Vitamin tone. Yeah, I love that. Yep, that's really cool. I don't know if that's an old thing or a new thing. Like, I wonder if they just adopted that from
It's printed on there, though, and it looks, I mean, I love how simple it looks. Because we opened up the back of the new Les Paul I got.
Yeah.
And it was like a goddamn motherboard in there. There was wires everywhere. It was like a computer.
Yeah.
And now you open it up, and there's 4 things.
Yeah. Super simple. And they're the big fat pots that are like really good for like just I guess electricity flows through them better when they're more beefy. I don't know what the deal is, but
it blows my mind that people are really out there looking for that kind of flexibility.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? Like,
well, it just depends on what you're doing. I mean, if you're a studio guitarist, maybe you just need to be able to get all these tones out of it.
But see, if you're a studio guitarist, you have a fleet of guitarists that do what you need. That's what I feel like.
That's my
like. Hey, you want a Strat sound? Let me push the pot. No, let me go grab the American Strat I have.
Right, exactly. That's the way I feel about it. I have a lot of guitars, and I feel like if you want a Strat tone, you should just have a Strat. You can
because it's not the same. Because I push the pots on that thing, and it's not even close.
Exactly.
It is a single coil sound, but it's way different than a Strat.
It's a different tone for sure, and it's closer to a Strat, but it's not.
Maybe it's a sound you like. I guess I don't know. But
and the whole scale of the guitar is different. You know what I mean? So there's a different.
That's a good point.
There's a different in general how you play a guitar like that, a Les Paul versus a Strat. So. But
playing Les Pauls for so long, I go back to my Strat and I find them really hard to play.
It is, yeah. It's hard.
It seems like no matter how hard I bend, I can't get even to a full step.
Yeah.
And on a Les Paul, I'm doing 2.5 steps sometimes.
That's the difference in length. So you have a shorter scale length on a Les Paul that allows you more loose string, or I don't know what you want to call it, like it's got less tension on it, right? So
slinkiness.
But it's the same tuning.
Yeah.
And then you go to a longer scale length on like a Strat, which is known for 25.5. Les Pauls are 24 3/4 if I didn't say that, and then Fenders are 25.5. So it pulls the string across a longer distance and a higher tension. Yes,
which means it's harder to move,
harder to bend, harder to push. Yeah. Exactly.
So and drastically different in my teaching guitar, which is an actual short scale. It's like 23 or something, and you can bend those things like it's just like nothing.
Yeah, yeah. And I think you even have like lighter. You have regulars on there, right? So they're even.
No, I have 10s on there.
Oh, you have
Yeah.
Wait, regulars are 10s.
I thought regulars are 9s.
No, regular Slinkies are 10s, I think.
But the standard guitar string is just 9s.
That's super Slinky?
I don't know what Ernie Ball calls it.
Yeah.
The standard like normal guitar string is 9 to 42.
Yeah.
And then 10 to 48.
And then 11 to 50. No, 11 to 48, I thought.
10 to 46. That's
10 to 46 and 11
It's funny,
to 48.
the 11s are not that thicker, not that much thicker on the bottom.
Not much. And especially, and like if you're doing the difference between stringing up a Les Paul or stringing up a Strat, you might want, like literally just your string change will help that work out better for you. So a Strat, you'd run with a more slinky, more like lighter gauge, string, so you can pull them harder, you know?
Yeah, so we actually bumped my guitar up to 11s, which I've been thinking about doing for a while.
Yeah.
So Matt had a pair he let me try out, and I'm loving them. There's really not as much difference as I thought there would
it's not that big a difference, especially on a Les Paul. Like
it's kind of what I needed, because 10s lately have been feeling really slinky. Yeah. Really like, kind of like, I'm about to break all these. And I have actually broken a couple in the past few months.
Yeah, and I played 10s for a long time, and then I forget. I mean, I might have done it just because I heard Slash played them. And I think he even said that like he feels like they have more tone, which could be, you know,
it's definitely true that the thicker the string, the more full the tone.
Right.
But you can only go so thick before you start to decrease playability.
Exactly.
Because they make like 16s and shit.
Right.
But that's like playing like a log. Like you can't move. It's good. It's really good for like metal.
Yeah.
You're tuned down to like A for starters. And for 2, you're not doing a bunch of bending and soloing. Right. You're just kind of chugging dun 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 dun. And that's good for really good for that stuff, because you get a nice fat tone out of it.
Yeah, and I feel like it's a good workout on my fingers too, like going to the heavier strings. I like pushing them a lot. I like to, I have a pretty good hand strength. I feel like more, like maybe better than most people. You probably feel that way too, because you play guitar and so dexterous from all that playing and conditioned. So like at work, I've always kind of realized that like when I grab stuff with pliers, I grab it a little tighter than some people do. I have a good hand strength.
Yeah.
And I think that's partially due to, well, I exercise it with one of those little hand exercisers and
great.
heavier strings. Like, you know, it was hard at
Yeah,
first.
I'm sold on 11s. Now, what's funny is I just bought a big old box of 10s.
Yeah.
So there's like 15 packs of 10s in
Yeah,
there.
well-
So check this out. I've been trying to find the best place to buy strings. Do you remember
Save those for
buying...
your strap. Just put them on your strap.
Yeah, I'm going to put those on like my teaching guitar.
There you
and
go.
like that
Yeah,
kind of
yeah,
stuff. Any guitar that's in standard.
Yep.
But do you remember when you could buy the box of strings and it was, you bought 10 packs, you got 2 free. So it's a box of 12 and it was like $44.
Yep.
I haven't been able to find those forever.
Huh.
So I just Googled Ernie Ball string deals.
Yeah.
And sure enough, Guitar Center popped up and there's the box.
They have the box.
And
is it exclusive?
previously,
Guitar Center?
yeah, I think so.
Ah.
And previously they only had it in like 10s or 9s, like the really popular one, but they
Yeah.
had an 11s.
Well, you know what
so I
they
bought
have-
the pack of 11s
You know
and they had a $10 off, 15% off accessories. So
Okay,
like the $50
nice.
pack would got it for like $40.
Perfect.
12 packs of 11s coming my way.
Nice. Well, yeah, you know, they do that thing too, and I'm not sure if they still do it, but they started it maybe a year or two ago, something like that. But they did this monthly string thing, like basically you get strings in the mail.
Mm-hmm.
Like I forget how many or what the deal is, but
I
you
think I
pay a
remember what
certain
you're
amount a
talking
month,
about, yeah.
and then they just send them to you.
My only problem
Or
with
you
that
can
is
pick them up at Guitar Center.
oh, that's cool. Oh, Guitar Center did it.
Yeah. it's
Okay,
their
cool. Because I've
specific
seen,
thing.
I have not seen that. I have seen companies like do something like that, but it's never the strings I want. Like
Right.
I'm very particular. I
Yeah.
know what I want, and if I can't have that, I'll just go somewhere else and get it there because I
Exactly.
need exactly what I need.
Exactly.
And I don't need to try anything new.
Yeah, I'm not looking for a deal so much to where I can't play
Yeah.
what I want to play. Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
find the best deal to find like for what I'm playing, what I want.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not super interested in trying out new shit at this point.
No.
To a point. I mean,
Yeah.
of course I'll try different guitars and stuff, but
Right,
I
right.
know myself at this point, and I know I'm not going to try like Diodarios and be like, damn, these are better. Like, I just know that.
Yeah, I
Like,
know. Me too. I've played Diodarios in a pinch. Like that's the only thing I had or whatever. I take them off immediately. Like I do not like the way they feel, and it's just preference. It's not anything bad about the string itself. I'm not talking shit, but it's just not my preference. And some people
talking
swear
shit,
by
you heard
them.
it first.
Some people swear by them, dude. Some people are just like, I can't believe you don't play Diodarios. Like they're the only strings that are good. I'm
That's-
like, what are you talking
that's
about?
so
like,
funny.
you know, I hear that shit. Like it's crazy.
Yeah.
It's like it's totally subjective.
So we're parlaying all of this guitar
Yeah.
into itness. I don't know
Yeah.
what you call it.
Well, I don't know
We're really
either.
into the deeper
Enthusiasm, we'll
aspects
say.
of it. You know,
We'll say, yeah.
we're parlaying that into a custom build we're going to try.
Yeah, dude. It's going to be cool.
I trust Matt because I don't know a goddamn thing. So hopefully he does.
Well, I've built 3 guitars. He's seen the work.
Yeah, I've
Yeah.
seen the stuff you've done and it's amazing.
Yeah.
And I hope mine is even
It's
half that good.
Well, I think I've learned a lot more about guitar
Really?
since I did those. I did
'Cause
those
your Les Paul is
guitars.
sick.
Oh, I made it, and that's essentially why you're building the Mockingbird. We should talk about. It's just that you can buy a custom guitar, and you can pay
Mm-hmm.
Gibson. Like this is why I built my Les Paul the way I did. Is I didn't want to pay Gibson $4,000, $4,500 just to have a couple specs be the way I wanted them.
Right.
When I can spend approximately $1,000 to $1,200 on those Les Pauls to build in material. That's everything. That's pickups, wood. All of it, every piece of material you'll need, not tools because, like the tools obviously are not part of that, but I bought tools, like
Right.
certain specific tools that you need.
You still have some of those?
Oh,
tools?
I have them all.
Really?
Of course, yeah.
So what kind
Clamps,
of- okay.
file, different types of files for the frets, rounded
specific
files.
sanders or anything?
Specific sand, like the right
electric
size.
sanders?
How about just the right size of sander? Like you need like something to put it on a piece of sandpaper on that works good for getting
Right.
guitar crevices.
Oh, okay, cool.
That kind
But
of
you're
stuff.
doing all that by hand or you're electric sanding it? Or
Well,
what?
and you start in the beginning, you do an electric when you're trying to get it close, and then you go by hand at
Finish it
the
by
end and
hand.
smooth
Okay,
it and
gotcha.
really feel it with your hand because you want that to just feel like you want it to feel. Like, what does it
Right.
matter if that arch top is not exactly like what Gibson has? Like, first of
Absolutely.
all, the old ones, they were done by hand, and so they were all different. They were
yeah.
all different. It's not the big deal. You get it close and it looks good. Like, it's a good looking shape. But yeah, the Mockingbird's a little different,
I
obviously.
feel like Les Pauls look like what they sound like. Do you notice that?
Yeah.
Like just fat.
Yeah, they are. It's something about them, man.
They're just
like-
that big. They just look fat and then they also sound fat.
It could just be your association too, though. Like what
Absolutely.
a Les Paul sounds like, and
Yeah.
like you feel that. And I don't know if
Yeah.
that's it does look like it sounds though. I agree. So a Mockingbird's a little different. It doesn't have like a big carved top on it, but it has some cool bevels, some really cool bevels.
Very interesting
oh,
shape
yeah, and so-
that I actually really like because I don't usually go for those wacky shapes.
No, me neither, but-
I think most of them, actually, I think all of them except one suck.
I've
And that
always
one
liked-
is the Mockingbird.
I like the bitch too. The BC
It's okay.
bitch.
It's okay.
I think it's cool, but it's not the same as a Mockingbird.
One thing I
Mockingbird's
don't
the
like
best.
is how it has that one really curved edge and then that one really straight edge. That's what
Right,
kills me.
right,
I
on
just
the
don't
bitch.
like it. If
Yeah.
they were both almost more symmetrical or
Yeah,
something, I feel like I'd like
yeah.
it better. But the fact that it looks like a Pac-Man mouth,
Yeah.
like that always kind of bugged me.
Yeah, I agree. So anyway, so what I was saying about the Les Paul is I built it because I wanted to build it to my specs. I wanted like I didn't want to heel. I didn't want a big block heel.
I think you should play that guitar more.
I'm changing the pickups in it. That's the problem right now.
So
I invested about $300 in EMG solderless.
Are you just gonna sell those?
Yeah, I'm gonna get rid of them, and then I'm gonna
solderless. They plug in.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, that's all plug and play.
You did
no
all that.
solder. Yeah,
right. That's
same.
cool.
That's the same way the new Gibson is.
So you have to make sure you buy pickups that plug in, or I guess you could just change out.
Well, anything EMG will plug into it, but I don't want EMGs.
Okay.
I want to go passive.
Okay,
that's my thing. And you remember I told you,
should
active
do the Mojo Tone thing that we did.
That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, cool.
But I remember I told you that passive potentiometers and active potentiometers are different ratings. You asked me what
250
the K,
and 500.
Yeah, you asked me what that K is.
So 250 is
all
active.
that wiring has to be changed out, even if I see, you know what I mean? Like, because it's all active. But I tried that.
So you have to do that.
And there were the retro actives.
You could probably sell that as a pack.
Yeah, I can. I definitely will.
For decent money.
Yep.
You know?
I'm gonna sell the kit that came for your Les Paul. We'll put it into the Mockingbird.
Mm-hmm.
So that's more money. Like probably $300. I'm thinking like easy, like a plug and play Les Paul kit where you don't need to solder at all. Somebody's gonna want that. Somebody's gonna be like, yeah, it's from a brand new 2019 Les Paul, like barely
it's brand
used.
new.
Yeah.
Oh, never used. Played like twice.
Right. Exactly. So, and it's just because it wasn't your thing doesn't mean it's not somebody else's thing.
That's a great point.
Yep. And that EMG thing is the same way. They were called retroactives. I was actually looking for a more vintage style pickup, but in an active form, and they're just too powerful. You can't clean them up enough. That's my problem. Like you tune them volume
it's
down,
just wide
and
open.
we volume down, and they still have a breakup. They're not going.
Oh yeah, for sure.
They're not going to.
You can tell when they like turn off. You know,
yeah,
it's like it gets like it's the same but quieter, and then it just turns to mud.
Off, right. Yeah.
Like it's crazy.
Yeah. That's it. So.
That'll be cool. That guitar will be amazing. Then.
It will. Yeah, exactly. And it's the same idea, though. What I was doing there is I built it because I didn't want to pay Gibson to build me my custom guitar that I could build myself. I knew I could build myself.
We have to make sure we take pictures all along the way.
Yeah. I have pictures of my guitar. I've probably never showed them to you. But I have them. How I made them and everything.
We'll have to post this on the
it'd be a good thing.
Stages,
it'll be a good thing to keep on the stories too, like maybe guitar progress. You know, that'd be cool. But yeah, so we're gonna make it custom to your specs. There's a lot of different Mockingbirds.
Going to be a Mockingbird, but kind of simplified.
Exactly.
It's actually going to even be more simple than a Les Paul, I think.
But it's gonna be the right wood that you want. You're gonna get to select how you want that flame maple on the top to be. You know, you'll get to customize. It'll be a truly customized guitar by you. You know, like you're gonna help me build it. It's gonna be like a teamwork effort. It's gonna be cool.
Yeah, just don't let me do anything that matters.
If there's any kind of risky thing,
hey, cut this. Nope.
No. I'm not even talking about that.
Straight in half.
I'm just saying I need you to tell me what you like. You know,
I'll be there for the whole thing. For sure.
I'm going to give you the options along the way, and you're going to say, I want this, I want that, right? And just make decisions, and I can do the manual work.
I just know where my skill set lies, and it's definitely not.
I know where mine is.
Anywhere near a saw.
Yeah. Well, I know my skill set. You know, I've always been like a builder, man. Like when I was a skateboarder, I built ramps. When I started playing guitar, I immediately started like working on.
I need to get with you about building a teleprompter.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we talked about it. Yeah,
because we're gonna need that for GNR bad.
Easy. We can probably make it out of not wood. We should make it out of like plastic paneling, like a little black box that's plastic in a wedge shape.
Okay.
With a spot.
Would it be strong enough for him to stand on?
We could. Well, dude, I work at a fabrication shop now. We could make it out of an aluminum frame with some scrap pieces. They throw anything under 6 feet away.
Okay.
Isn't that crazy? Because they build giant things. 6 feet's nothing. Like, what are we going to use this 6 foot piece for?
Yeah.
For us, 6 foot is like, you can build the whole thing with one stick.
This desk.
Yeah, exactly. So it's kind of cool. And you
have
welders.
They don't care if you take that. They don't care if you guys take
They throw it in the dumpster. So, and the dumpster does get recycled, but they don't make.
So you can tell them like, hey, can I take?
They say if you need anything out of there, pull it out before the the pickup truck comes. You know.
I just don't want to step on any toes, so I love that.
Well, it'd be on me. It wouldn't be on you at all. So I'll take care of it.
That'll be cool.
Yeah, it'll be awesome. It'll be a fun little project. You just want one of them, or you're gonna want like two of them?
I don't know, man.
We'll figure it out.
It might be if it's gonna be like an easy, cheap thing to do. It might be cool to have three.
Just have them across the stage.
Across the stage,
cool.
yeah.
That'd be cool.
That way,
you can have one too.
Goliath can be mobile. I need one for our variety band.
Oh, okay.
But this is for the bigger. Yeah. This will probably be for the bigger thing.
Cool.
So maybe we'll come up with some plans.
Yeah, we'll make one first, see how it goes, and then we'll and if there's any changes you want to make, we'll do it on the next one. You know.
I'm envisioning like a wedge-looking monitor. Well, I'm envisioning what they use.
That's what I'm thinking. Yeah.
So yeah.
Shouldn't be a problem.
Clearing the throat. Okay, so
that's guitar work.
Guitar works, man. 30 minutes of guitar works.
It's gonna be cool though. I'm excited.
I can't wait.
Yep.
So this past week and this upcoming week, I am one of the counselors, I guess you could say, at the Bold Music Studio Camp. So the recording studio camps. Right. So students come in, write a song, and then record it. That's the goal.
Yeah.
to have a completely finished song by the end of the week. So this past week we had the high school kids, and this upcoming week we have the middle school kids. It was a ton of fun.
Yeah.
We had a good group. It was a lot of fun. They came up with a cool song. I'll share it with everyone soon.
Did you record it for them?
Well, we didn't do anything for them.
Okay.
I was the button monkey, but like I would teach them how to I'd press record.
Okay.
Like, we didn't play anything.
Okay, but you did record them though. Like they're recorded.
Yeah, it was me and the guy that operates the studio, Jason.
Okay.
And then George, the manager.
I saw George I saw George last Thursday.
Yep.
He was at a session.
He was there to oversee everything and kind of, be the motivational guy. But Jason and I were doing the actual pushing of buttons.
Cool.
But so in the past, they haven't had a third guy. So this was the first time they added me. So we were able to get a lot more done.
Right.
So there ended up being like 90 tracks in this song of just like guitar layers, synth pads,
well, and you're the
all
guy,
sorts of crazy stuff.
you're the guy to add to that group too, because you know the technical side of things probably better than they do. Not saying that they don't know what they're doing.
It was really fun.
You focus on that stuff more.
Yeah, I'm a nerd for that stuff.
I know,
for sure.
Well, that's good. That's a good thing.
But it was cool, man. It was cool seeing these kids kind of go. They're high school kids, so they were a little more relatable than like an elementary school kid.
You're kind of watching them wake up a little bit. You're kind of watching them like learn, like and learn.
See
the
what they're
craft
good
of
at.
music
What they like, what they don't like.
Right. That's cool.
It was really cool, and pushing them out of their comfort zone. Like three of them were my personal students, and
you made them work for it.
Yeah, so like one of them was he loves to like learn like Eagles solos and like Slash and stuff.
Yeah.
But he's never like written his own solo, so it was time for him to write his own guitar solo, and he was really nervous about that. And luckily, we had a lesson Tuesday night of that week when he was supposed to do it on Wednesday, so we got to like run through it and figure it out.
A lesson like an improv solo type?
No, like just a regular scheduled evening lesson. So the camp goes from 9 to 2. This is another thing I wanted to point out because it's kind of weird. And I realized, so I've gotten up, which this sounds like a joke to most people, but I've gone to work, air quotes, 9 to 2 Monday through Friday this week.
Okay.
And I realized as I was getting up and driving in traffic and doing all that shit that I haven't done anything like that in 3 years.
What? Anything like what? Exactly.
Like just having like a normal job with hours.
Like every day.
Like, right. Oh, you have to be here at 9. You have to clock out. None of that shit.
Did you feel okay about it, or was
no, dude? I'll do it for 2 weeks.
Yeah,
they got me for 2 weeks, and then I'm back to my.
Yeah. I agree.
I'm good,
That's
man.
That's cool to have flexibility, man. Like.
Well, I have such an easy life. I love my life right now. It's very good because I don't have to ever set an alarm.
Right.
I set an alarm one day a week, and that's Sundays.
Great. That's great.
It. So it's just like
that's
whatever,
what
whatever, you know.
I'm liking my new job
Keep
too, less hours, and it is every day 9 to 5 type thing, but not 9 to 5 actually, but I like the hours that it is. It's earlier, and I get off at 3, so
that's awesome.
I'm hanging out, you know.
Getting off at 3 is nice.
Yes. So,
but the Bold Music Studio camps were fun. I'll keep you guys posted on how the next week goes, and I'll try to share the mixes if I can when we get them, or at least post a link or whatever.
Next month is the
They did good, dude. They wrote a catchy song. I'll show you the like really rough demo. They're gonna play this one at the Gig Night.
Nice, yeah, Gig Night is what I was looking for. Yeah, next month, right?
No, Gig Night's next week.
Next week,
1 week from today.
Do you need my help from that?
So I don't know. You can come if you want. Don't need your help.
Okay,
but
cool. Well,
I'm not doing sound or anything.
I'm moving and stuff, right?
Yeah,
I also have something else next week. I can't remember what it was. Am I running sound for you guys next week?
I don't know.
No. I'm filming a friend of mine. Never mind. Filming a friend of mine's show. I told him I'd help him out with that.
This week this month they're doing Gig Night a little differently.
Okay.
They're doing 2 Gig Nights.
Yeah, they're gonna break it up.
One of them is Saturday night, and that's for the more advanced kids, and they are allowed to do like 2 to 3 songs, so like a full band kind of set.
So they're not just.
And then Sunday's the normal one.
I like that. That's cool.
Sunday's back the normal one for like the less experienced kids. You just don't want to put a kid up there that's not ready to play like 4 songs. Like,
right.
It's not gonna work.
No, you want to focus on getting one song down and.
But all 3 of my students that were at the studio camp are the same 3 students that are playing the Saturday showcase.
Nice. So all your students are on the good day.
Yeah, I get to play mostly drums this time. It's gonna be awesome.
Ooh, that'd be fun. That'd be fun.
What
what's the kid who plays drums? Do
you want to sing Slither?
Wes?
You can come and sing Slither if you want.
I sing Slither good. I've done it before, and people came up to me and like, "You got Scott Weiland down." Like,
come and sing Slither.
I'll do it.
And just come and hang out. It's just gonna be super chill, dude. All my students.
Guitar if you wanted to.
He's got. It's Jackson's playing.
All right, if they got it, then it's good. But there's 2 guitars, and I mean, you got it. You and him.
I was playing it, and he said he's gonna have his friend do it.
Oh, cool. So excellent.
So Jackson's the student. He plays guitar and drums. I'm teaching him guitar mainly because he's already pretty good at drums.
Right.
So he's doing 3 songs. He's doing Slither and Monkey Wrench by Foo Fighters on guitar. Cool. And then he's switching to drums and playing Best of You. So when he's when he was playing drums, he needed to get his friend to play guitar. Right. So his friend's just going to play all guitar.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, I'll just play drums on the other ones, and then I just won't play the other one. So that's cool.
I'll sing Slither. That'd be fun.
Yeah, if you want to come and hang out, it's going to be super chill because all my students are going first. I'm literally only going to be there like an hour.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's super easy.
Maybe I'll just come and hang out and sing.
Yeah.
That'd be fun.
It'll be awesome. Excellent. It's at Heist Brewery. It's not at Flight.
New place.
You know, Flight closed.
No.
Completely closed, I think.
Oh, man, what a cool place that was.
It was pretty cool.
I like that room.
Yeah.
And remember all the murals on the wall, like of all the artists.
Oh,
They had
yeah.
all those drawings.
It's kind of a weird place over there. Like, what was that second bar for? Is it kind of like I never really got the vibe of the, you know what I mean?
I think maybe.
Also, they prided themselves on being the Cleveland Browns bar.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, this is Charlotte. Like, what are you doing? Like,
well, there's a lot of underground like Browns fans. Like they're everywhere. You know what I mean? Like just because they're the underdog.
all fans are everywhere.
Well,
you know,
but Browns are underdogs, so
You think
it's
so?
not
Well, I know that,
necessarily
but-
it's not necessarily state loyalty or anything like that or city
Yeah.
loyalty.
Oh, people just
it's more just
root- I
people
got
rooting
you.
for the underdogs. Like they like rooting for the Browns. Browns have never been to the
just seemed kind of
maybe
weird.
they've been to the Super Bowl, but something like that. I don't know.
I'm not good on NFL
Me
stats.
neither. I'm not even gonna try. But,
Browns have never, and
but
all
Heist
the
is a
NFL guys
cool-
are like,
hey,
what?
Heist has awesome food and is a really
Heist is
nice
cool. I've never
place.
eaten there, but when I first moved up here, I put out an ad on Craigslist saying guitar player looking for gigs, basically. And this guy hit me back up and he said, this is what he said. I do an acoustic duo with my son. We play with backing tracks and all that kind of shit. And
At Heist.
and my son doesn't really want to do it anymore, so I'm looking for someone to kind of fill that up.
Right.
So he was like, we're playing at Heist, come out and check us out.
Oh, right.
So I went out and checked him out, and that's the only time I've been there.
Nice.
So
Well,
it was a long time ago.
it's a good place though, right? Like nice decor and
I
really
thought it was
good
cool,
food,
but again,
high-end
it was
food.
right after I moved up here.
Right,
It was like
right.
2016.
Right.
It was before I joined the Smokin' Journey tribute, any of that
Right.
stuff.
Okay.
Which, side note, the band was Smokin' was the cover band before it was the Journey tribute. And the web,
Oh, I remember of something.
it was an arena rock tribute. The name
Yeah.
was Smokin'.
Yeah.
Terrible name. And the website was smokinrocks.com. And
Whoa, that is not a good idea.
I didn't think about that for so long
That's
until
so
Foz
funny.
pointed out to me, like, smokinrocks.com. And we were just like, I just died.
It's
I was
funny.
like, that is so
it's funny. I think
dude.
everybody would probably get that. They're like, oh, that's hilarious.
Yeah, yeah. Not the guy that created it. He thought that was just a good
I know,
website to make.
but like all bands do the rocks thing. They do steelpantherrocks.com
Yeah, yeah.
or whatever. They
I hate
not all
that.
bands, but
I
some
hate
of
that
them do.
because all that says to me is your name is not original enough to get the actual thing.
Right, somebody
'Cause
already
mine
got
is
it.
lamaybe.com.
Right.
Done.
Mine is prepandbarium.com. Same
Good.
thing.
So just
I
come up
love
with a unique
that.
name. Like
I love unique names. Like
the
I think
one
that's if you could find
growing
one-
up, it was always like I had a band called Resurrection. Of course, that's a million band names. This was
Yeah.
never even really a band.
Right.
But we bought the domain name. It had to be Resurrection Music SC. And I was just like, this.
No, that's not
At the
it.
time, I was like, whatever. It's a band. It's a domain
Yeah,
name.
yeah.
But looking back, I was like, that sucks.
Yeah,
Like,
I mean, that's the things about learning, as you go, you kind of figure out like, all right, well, we need a unique name because then when somebody searches it, they're only going to find that. They're not going to find a million other ones. And
Yep.
They're not going to.
Yep.
And
exactly.
it's more memorable, I think, if you have something unique. It's
Yeah.
like I'll never forget. Like the LA Maybe is like such a standout.
yeah, once you know
name.
it.
Yeah,
it's
well,
just
once you know it,
hard to explain
It's
to
almost
people
like the
what that is.
1975. They have a really a
you
good
just gotta
name,
remember that
It's like-
number.
yeah, in a year really. So you think about I always think about that year, 1975. Not that I was alive, but
So many tribute band possibilities. The 1992. Just do any other year.
or of the 2019,
The 2019.
or whatever. I don't know.
So we were talking about streaming in CDs
Yeah,
recently and
Yeah.
kind of pros and cons.
Yep.
And one thing that I had never thought of, which seems super obvious, but I never thought of it, is you make basically the same amount of money, let's say, but over time.
right.
So your streaming potential is actually more than your CD sales.
Exactly, especially
So-
if you get a hit song.
Yeah. So if I come out with I don't know, give me an album.
What do you mean, like
Just give me any
Any
album that
album?
I came out with. Just
that you came out with?
Nope,
The LA
just
Maybe
any
album.
album. Any album.
Slash album. We'll
Okay,
talk
so
about Living the Dream.
so Slash Living the Dream. So I'm releasing Slash Living the Dream. And that has the song Mind Your Manners.
Right.
Right. So that's
Right.
the hit. That's
Right.
the single. So if this was back in like CD time, we release it and all the CD sales happen like release week, let's say.
The day that comes
And then
out.
they trickle down. You
Yeah.
still have some, of course,
Right.
but they trickle down sharply.
Yeah.
So you see a huge spike of income.
Yep. And
Let's say
then-
it's
then people
$1,000.
go home and listen
just
to
for
this-
easy numbers.
Listen to their CD over and over.
So then Matt takes the CD home and listens to it a million times
Yeah.
and shreds it, and it doesn't
Right.
even work anymore.
Right.
But he's only paid what, $10?
$10, yeah,
He paid
usually
$10 to listen to the songs 1,000 times each.
Right.
Now, if it was just released on Apple Music, no CDs,
Right.
you paid $0
The
for the
super
CD.
fans aren't
but
gonna-
I got paid each one of those 10,000 times you listened to it, or 1,000 times,
Right.
whatever I said.
Right. The super fans aren't going to help you. They're not going to help your numbers when they just buy a CD. If they're listening to that CD that much, then man, it'd be nicer to have them on streaming. It'd be nice to have them getting paid for every time they listen.
Because now I'm not only paid for you buying it, I'm paid for you listening to it.
Right.
Which is different.
It's different. It's not a lot of money up front. And you know what the thing is? You can still buy like on iTunes.
Well, you
buy-
get rewarded for having a hit song.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Instead of just putting shit out.
Exactly. And if that one song gets playlisted and stuff like that, man, you can a song can blow up. You know what I mean?
Which
You
is
can make
why
a lot of money.
we see some of the hip hop artists and the pop artists of the day. They really only release singles.
Right.
Rarely do you see a whole album come out
Right.
too much anymore.
It's
You
not,
see it every
it's
couple
not as
years.
lucrative. Like you're gonna put a lot of money into putting a whole album. I know because I know
Yeah.
what it goes. Like it's a long process and it builds. And today's game is short and efficient. You know, like get it out there and make a good like one song, 3 songs. Like in rock, you see a lot of 3-song, 4-song EPs now.
I seriously envy the hip hop game because the artists will just find a beat they like, buy it, and then record it, and they're done in like a week.
Yeah, as long as they're a good writer.
They're done within like a week.
Yeah, exactly. That's crazy. That's an efficient way to pump out some music. But also, like I like the idea of a song being morphed over time and really worked, you know, like and has the full complete sound. And also I love the idea of an album. So that's why I'm doing it. Not for lucrative reasons. I'm not trying to make money on this album. I am, you know, obviously trying to make money, but I'm not worried about making the most money I can and selling my art for that. You know what I mean? I want to make an album because I like the idea of having a body of work, like a longer set, I guess. Discography, yeah, that's a good idea because then you know you put out singles for 10 years and
you still got a discography. It's just,
but you've got like 10 songs or something. You know what I mean? Or like
if you release a single every month,
sure. Okay, so you could have like 12 songs a year, sure.
120 songs, right?
Yeah,
is that right?
Yeah, that's true. I don't know. I think it's
kind of comes out the same because you don't release a single in the same time span you release an album.
Right.
You release the same amount of music. You release, let's say you release one album a year, or an EP every 4 months, or a single every month.
Yeah, so singles are better because you stay in front of the fan. You're constantly releasing new, music, and they're getting reminded of you every month.
Every month is too much, by the way.
Yeah, it's a lot.
A lot of people say that's too much. Yeah. You should be releasing something probably every 3 to 6 months, maybe.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Every 3.
But see, it doesn't have to be like, here's my new hit single. It can be like, here's the cover of Beast and the Harlot we did, stuff like that.
Just
like
keeping in front of people.
Or here's this YouTube video of me playing blah blah. Like you just have to release stuff. Now that stuff is a little more frequent, but
I really have. I came to grips with that streaming thing a long time ago, where I realized, okay, well, you're not gonna get paid a lot. You're not gonna get $10 every time somebody decides to buy your band. But what you
still can.
You can, of course. Like it's not out of the question. But
it's just not what people want to do.
Yeah, streaming is becoming.
There's not much point in fighting that.
The new alternative, exactly. But the important thing is to look at it on the bright side. Don't look at it per play. You're getting less than 1 penny. Look at it as when your song hits a playlist that's, got tons of followers on it, and then your song does well, then they put it to their playlist, then you're going to be adding up quickly.
A lot of music marketers now are saying that music used to be the item that you're selling. It's not that anymore. Nope. The music is the thing that gets people to your shows, where you then have them buy tickets, buy merch, buy whatever. That's how you make your money.
Yeah.
The music is what gets them to the table.
Which is why record companies are out of.
You will make some money on the music.
That's why record companies have taken such a hit, because that was their end of it. Like bands made the money live. Like they got the show, the live show money and merch and whatnot, right? And record labels got the CD sales. Well, now CD sales are gone. Like that's not like a thing anymore. Like it's kind of pathetic when you look at how many CDs are sold nowadays, but it's not. It's not because people aren't interested.
Well, see,
in music,
here's the thing:
because they don't have that way to play.
If you give me a CD and you say, "Hey, Dallas, here's my band's CD. I want you to have it because you're my friend," and I say, "Thank you, Matt," it goes in my cabinet and I don't touch it because I don't have a way to play it.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't have a disk drive in any of my computers. Nope. The only disk drive I have is in my car, and it doesn't work.
And it doesn't work. Well, there you go.
So what I'll do is I'll say, thanks, Matt, and I'll go put it with my very small collection of my friends and my own old band CDs that I hold on to. It's probably 5 to 10 CDs.
Yeah.
And then I'll go listen to rap music.
Yeah, why not? Yeah, exactly.
Because that's just, I literally can't do anything with it.
We talk about all the time the Kemper versus a tube amp. Like what wins out is convenience more often than not. If it's marginally small, like smaller less quality, it's not enough to beat the convenience factor.
I saw this great meme that sums that up. It was, it said the drummer's kit at the first show, and it was like Mike Portnoy's drum kit. Yeah. And it said the drummer's kit at the last show, and it was a kick and a snare and a hat.
He got tired of carrying drums.
It was just like, I'm fucking done.
Yeah. He's like, this works too. Why not just do this?
Yeah.
That's the idea, man. Like the Kemper is, people might say it's like, even if you had some kind of beef against Kemper, which I don't know if there's anything you can hear in a different, not maybe just a little bit, but not enough to like.
What do you think you could hear? 5%?
It might sound different. It might not even sound worse or better. It might just sound different a little bit.
Do you think? Well, let's call it 5 to even 10% worse.
No. I would say it's less than that. I would say it's like
sure, but
3%.
For argumentative sake, let's say 5%. Right. It's 5% worse than a tube amp.
Still worth it.
What is then let's look at, okay, so it's 5% worse. We know that in sound.
Yeah.
Are we looking at just sound? No, let's move on to how heavy is it?
Right.
How easy is it? How breakable is it?
Exactly. How many parts are to it?
Yeah. Oh, I forgot the mic.
Right.
Like now I can't mic the cap, or the sound guy sucks or whatever, like it's
reliability.
So all of that kind of counterbalances any sort of tonal difference you might get.
Yep. So that,
But then it's always preference. Like, hey, I just prefer playing through tube amp. Sure,
course.
do whatever you want. I don't give a fuck.
yeah, and that's the thing. I'm not going to get rid
Just
of my
don't shit on the
tube
Kemper
amps.
based on your preferences. Like,
Exactly.
you can't argue it against it based on like, oh, because
Exactly.
I prefer these picks, your picks suck.
Right.
Like,
That's a bad attitude to have. Like any towards anything. Like it's all preference. Like you're looking for
Yeah.
what works for you. I have tube amps, and I'm not going to ever get rid of them. I'm going to get a Kemper though. I know.
I
that.
love my Kemper, and I
Yeah.
want to buy not yours, but a JVM based off of yours.
And what's nice is that you just have
I might buy
your
the
tube amps at
Satch one,
home.
though.
You have your tube amp at home, and then you take your Kemper and you profile it with your guitars, your everything you're going to do it with. You have exact clones of your amps that you can take on the road with you. I love having tube amps, but they're a pain in the ass to carry around.
Yeah.
Like for sure. Like
It takes like two people, like 2 trips to get everything.
It's
Like,
crazy, and they're fragile.
help me grab
You
this
can't-
cab,
You
like,
can't
you
put
know.
it down too hard or it'll break.
You know what you should do? You should think about getting one of those cases where it has it's like a nice tall flat. It's like an amp case. You can put the amp head in the bottom of it,
Right.
and then it's got like space for drawers or
Right,
wireless units or
right.
whatever up there. So I'll see if I can find a picture of that.
I know what you're talking about. The racks that basically hold tube amp heads.
Yep, pretty
There we go.
much.
That would be really awesome. They're
Basically this right here. Funny
Yeah.
that we're doing this by sight.
yeah.
But instead of having like another amp up here, it has like space
Rack
for
on
more
up
shit.
the
And you
half.
can do those any way you want.
It's right there.
but
That's what that is right
kind of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except the one I'm thinking of is much taller.
there. Okay.
What?
What I'm doing.
What?
What
did
I'm
I
gonna
search?
do.
What am I looking at?
I don't know. There's all kinds of crazy stuff popping up.
Oh,
So
I typed.
what I'm
I
gonna
typed
do.
case wrong.
What I'm gonna do with my Kemper when I get it is put it in a faux
This.
amp head.
That's
tube
exactly
amp head.
the one right there.
Exactly. Yeah.
So you have two. You have a main and a backup.
Yep.
This is what Slash's tech had on his. So he had his Marshall and then his backup.
and then he runs his effects,
all the
effects,
racks and
or
wireless and
wireless.
shit up there.
Yeah.
Problem
So-
is those cases are like $1,000.
Yeah, they are. But you can build those too. You know, they
Sure.
have a company that sells you the material. You just cut it down
I
to
have
the size you want.
A thing down there that'll tell you how to do it exactly.
Perfect. Well, we need to do that eventually. I don't think we're quite ready for that, but
I want to build something like that.
what I'm
for
doing
sure.
with my Kemper though, dude, that's the best idea I've ever seen is somebody built a faux tube amp head, like just gutted with a rack spot in it basically.
and you could make it look like
it
whatever
looks
you
like a
want.
Marshall or on the
Oh,
outside of it,
whatever,
and the head the front face of it flips down, and then you see the Kemper in there, so you can make all your adjustments. But then the front knobs on the amp were wired to the Kemper settings too, so the front knobs in the amp still did stuff, but they did it whatever you want them to be because it's a Kemper inside.
because you could change it.
Yeah, so you can make it like your master
Like
volume
delay,
on one.
like,
you can
yeah.
add delay on,
Yeah.
like on another knob if you
I
want
need to see a picture of this because you've described it to me several times and I can't quite envision it.
Mark Brown is the guy who made it, and he's on Facebook. I think he's got pictures of it on there. I'm gonna pull it up really quick.
Another thing I need your help with is I need a guitar boat, dude.
I know, and that's one I'm gonna make too. Because you just need like enough for the guitars you have. You know, like you build them kind of.
Yeah, but I need it. I need one like this, just like this.
Yeah,
Here we are searching shit. Everybody listen as we look at things. But it's room for basses and guitars because we're gonna have a lot of instruments traveling with us. And we
Mhm.
need to be able to put them in some. This exact thing is what we need.
yeah. This looks like it might be it, but I'm not sure that might be a real Marshall. That's the hard thing about it is you can't really tell. Like it looks like a regular
That's
Marshall.
really funny.
And it's just a head
That's,
flips the
to
whole
me, that
face
seems
of
like
it.
too much work. But
I want to see a picture.
'Cause if I'm
there
running-
it is. Look. It was it. I was right. See the head face. The face is down.
folds down.
Yeah.
Sorry. Oh, it just folds down. I was off mic.
Yeah. So the Kemper's inside there in a little rack.
That's
mounted.
really cool.
It is really cool. I'm gonna do one like my Mesa, I think, because I like the way it looks, like the diamond plate and stuff on it.
Yeah, that's really cool. To me, that's a little too much work because if I have the Kimber like that, it's
Right.
probably sitting off stage.
Right. Well, this would be for if you wanted the stage like
Right.
look where you want
Sure.
your amps on stage. Kinda
Definitely.
look. In a rock band, that kind of works. You know, works well.
Something like that.
Ooh, yeah, and that's what Eddie's got right there.
Yeah.
And I actually built the little transfer piece right there because this is for bass guitars.
Yeah, because we're going to need to be able to fit Rasan, Daryl, and my guitars all in a case.
Right. Everybody's guitar needs.
We're all going to have acoustics and several electrics and bass.
That's that's really close to the one that Eddie has, but he had me build a little
block.
another bottom, so that way it just works for guitars, all the way across,
That makes
rather than,
sense.
and then he uses that as like an extra cubby.
I love the plug so you can get the lights in there.
Yep. Lights or chargers. You can charge your active guitars.
Yep.
Nowadays, those Fluence charge batteries, rechargeable batteries, are awesome.
I love little cases like that too.
Yeah, they're
Not a
perfect.
case, but
Yeah, that's not a boat. That's just a case.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, I need a boat for sure. I've wanted one for so
That
long.
was cool. It's got the little spot for
Have you seen this company?
Gator. Is that what it is?
No,
What
it's
is it?
this company Enkai. I'd never seen them before,
Oh, they look cool.
but they basically make a boat for two guitars.
Oh, that's nice.
They're pretty expensive, but they're made for like flying and stuff.
Right. TSA or whatever
There you
approved.
go. That's
type
probably
thing.
Slash's rig right
That
there.
looks like it right there.
Oh, that's the Slash wall. Yep, that's his.
Jubilee amps, Les Pauls loaded
That's
to the
crazy.
hill.
It's so funny that we're just looking at things on.
Yeah, well,
Get over it.
Get over it.
Listen to us talk about things we're seeing. There's a few more items on our list. You just pick one and start going. Not this one though. This one.
Yeah, let's talk about that a little bit.
You were talking about that last time.
Okay, so here's something that
I didn't know where you wanted to take it.
I've learned as an adult that I didn't know when I was like, I don't think I thought about as a kid. People say things that aren't true sometimes. Like they'll say things to make something sound cooler or to make something sound not as
exaggerate.
Yeah, or not as like they didn't try as hard. You know what I mean? Like they'll make it sound like not exaggerated, but like play it down. You know what I mean? That's cool. What is that? Whose is that?
I don't know, but that's two Kempers.
Depeche Mode. Is that a band?
Depeche, yeah. I think it's Depeche.
Depeche Mode, yeah. So anyways, the idea being that I've noticed that people will say things to play it down and like, you know, you're like, oh my God, this song's so good, you know, whatever. How much time did it take you to make it? I wrote it in like 5 minutes. It took me like a day to do whatever. And you know, It wasn't that hard. What you don't get from that kind of stuff when somebody says that is you don't understand that he worked. It was practiced. It was, you know what I mean? Played time and time again. And, you know, with the band, all kinds of stuff worked on, changed here and there. And when he says something, this is just an example. When he says something that like is easy or it was like, oh yeah, it was nothing. You have to understand where he's coming from. Like, first of all, he's worked his ass off to be a good songwriter maybe, or like, you know what I mean? Like there's a lot more involved in it. So you shouldn't feel down when you realize like, oh man, he says it's easy to write that song. And what am I going to be able to do? You know, like you put yourself down because of it kind of. Yeah. And you should avoid doing that because misdirection, I guess, is like, people will say things that will make you think, make you think things are a certain way, but they're not. And then also there's other things. Mostly I would say, just don't immediately believe everyone. Right. I guess that kind of seems cynical and shitty, but you kind of got to take everything with a grain of salt. Exactly. But the other thing that you brought up is really the only person, and it's so cheesy, but the only person you need to compare yourself to is yourself. Right. You know? Right. Because especially in the arts, because everyone is so different. If you like, for example, sometimes I'll look at the GNR dudes and be like, well, damn, they were superstars when they were 23. Right. I'm 26. Like, what the fuck? Like, right. I know. And that to me, I always think about that all the time too. And that's another thing. And it's like, well, it doesn't matter because it worked for them in a certain way that it's not going to work for you. So. And there's examples. But then I also look at Louis C.K. who didn't make it big till it was like 46. That's what I'm saying. Depends on what you look at, because you can look at, band like Steel Panther started in their, as a Steel Panther, at least, like they were obviously musicians for a long time before, but that band didn't start until, and they weren't like super successful musicians. Like, they were awesome musicians, of course. Satchel played for, Atomic Punks, right? Well, him, and they were doing the, but he also taught at Van Halen, MIT, or not MIT, MI. Yeah, taught at MI, and then also the band he was in with Rob Halford, Fight. Yep. So he also did some writing with Paul Gilbert. Right, right. So that was some stuff he did, but he was never noticed and never like a big famous person in music. Now, Steel Panthers got them to a level they probably never thought they would be. Like they were probably half given up, you know what I mean? And they were having fun with Steel Panther, and it worked for them. Anyway, so Misdirection, that's another band too. Steel Panthers joking all the time. They're not nonstop. Sweet, dude. That's awesome. Sorry, we're looking at some other stuff. You're gonna find out later. You're gonna hear it here in just a minute. Actually, awesome. You're gonna you know what? You'll hear it. You know what's funny? Okay, they'll have already heard it, so we can go ahead and say it because they're gonna hear it. So let's talk about it. We just were you done with your thought though? Let's finish that up first. All I was saying is that like they are joking around all the time and make things sound like not what it really is. Like they'll make it sound like oh, for sure. Yeah, they're downplaying like everything. Going to sex rehab. Exactly, that kind of stuff. No, dude. But see, we don't know, and honestly, we don't need to know. We don't need to know. But the idea being that is you shouldn't always like take everything with a grain of salt. That's all. That's really all I'm trying to say is like don't let your heroes and something I'm trying to do because you think you're not as good as them, because you could be. You just takes time because you're definitely not. No, one thing that I've been trying to do a lot better lately is take everything less seriously. Yes. Have fun, dude, really be looking in it for having fun and doing like what you want to do. Like that's my attitude towards life in general now. People get caught up in working jobs they hate. Like I don't want to ever be there anymore. You know what I mean? And you were just talking about how you love how flexible your schedule is and what you don't set alarms. That's great. Yeah, there's things that are important to me that other people might not mind. Exactly. You might not mind, not you, but anyone might not mind waking up at 7:30, but I don't want to do that. Yeah, exactly. I prefer to stay up a little later and wake up a little later. Right. So that's just something I'm gonna do. Exactly. If I can. You made it happen, right? Yeah. Like it's not something out of your reach. You can do it. Chris D'Elia said it best, because I used to kind of get guilty about like, oh, am I sleeping in too much? Like I'm just a lazy piece of shit. And then D'Elia brought it up on his podcast, and he was like, yo,
why would you feel bad about feeling good?
That's true.
Why are you hating on yourself for doing what you want to do?
That is really good, but because you do have that guilt, like almost like the food thing. Like anything that tastes good is bad for you.
Right.
It's like that. Like you almost have that mentality.
That's just not true, dude.
It's not true.
I love salad and shit.
Yeah,
I also love cheeseburgers and shit. But
yeah. But it's not true that everything that is good.
I love all foods. That's my problem.
Yeah. Well, I eat when I have to. That's where I'm a bad person about eating. I should eat a lot more.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Damn. Let's trade.
Let's trade for a little while. All right.
Let's just trade.
We'll back and forth it.
Yeah.
All right. So let's talk about this new thing though. This is gonna be cool.
Okay. So when Matt came over, we were talking, just catching up and doing our business chats.
Yeah. We wanted to freshen it up a bit.
We wanted to freshen up the podcast a little bit. So we're gonna kill the intro that we've had in the past. Mm-hmm. We've changed it a few times, but the one we've been running for the past several episodes, probably past 20 episodes or so. We're going to delete that. We're going to do a new one.
Yep.
So it's going to be, we decided to not do it ourselves. So we hired a voiceover actor and we didn't know if he'd have it delivered in time for this episode, but we just
did it.
We just got the notification literally 10 minutes ago while we were doing this podcast.
He said he put a lot of gravel in it is what his notes was. So.
Now you have to keep in mind, we haven't listened to this at the time of saying this. And when we finish the podcast, we will have listened.
Let's talk to you about where we went to, because I think this is cool, man. Like,
Matt had never heard of Fiverr. Yeah. Fiverr's pretty famous.
I've never heard of it. That's awesome.
It's been around for a long time.
So Fiverr, the idea being that like $5.
I was using Fiverr in 2013 or 14.
Yeah. So there's a lot of stuff on here, services for like $5, and now it's more.
Yeah. Well, see, it used to be everything was $5. Now they've kind of revamped it since I was active on it. I used to do a lot of work for Fiverr. Like I would do what were some of my popular? They call the little things you buy. They call them gigs. So the gigs, my most popular gigs were I would write a guitar riff for you, or I'd add a solo to your song, stuff like that. And I sold like 20 of them each.
Nice.
So I remember getting checks like for a couple $100 or something every time. Yeah. So you start everything at $5 and then you add add-ons. Like, okay, so you give them the bare minimum for $5.
Yeah.
Now, do you want the high quality WAV file? That's another $5.
Right. You can pay $40 for speedy delivery.
Do you want me to add a drum beat and bass to the riff that I wrote for you? That's $10. Do you want me to, stuff like that? So
yeah, so it's cool. You can add on, but the initial price is like $5 for most of them.
Sure. Now some of them now they changed that. You don't have to start at $5 anymore. You can, like the guy we saw people that started at 50, 30. Do whatever you want.
Yep.
So
and they give you little samples of what their voice sounds like, so you can get an idea. And
so we just use a voiceover guy. Voiceovers are the most popular service on Fiverr, and they have been that way since it started.
Nice.
So
yeah, it worked out. That was really fast and quick. So we already have it for this episode.
Yeah, so we ordered it right before.
Oh yeah, we wrote the script. It was cool.
Oh yeah, we wrote the script together. We ordered it right before we started the podcast, and he delivered it 40 minutes later.
That's so good.
That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take what he delivered, which I can't wait to hear.
Yeah.
And we're gonna chop it up and put it over just the normal.
You'll have already heard it.
So it'll be a good bit shorter and a little more concise than our past intros. So we did that. We're cutting the Bandzoogle lab. We're cutting all ads.
Yeah.
We're not gonna be doing ads for the foreseeable future.
Yep.
Because honestly, I've been listening. If anyone knows me, they know I listen to thousands of podcasts. Yeah. So
I do too.
I literally am subscribed to probably 35 podcasts, and I listen to almost every episode from every single one of them.
I don't have cable. I watch podcasts on YouTube. I listen to them on wherever. Like if I listen to them on the Amazon Alexa. Like
I'm definitely a millennial content consumer.
Why not, man? Like so much more cheap, and I feel like I'm actually learning stuff from podcasts. Whereas TV is kind of rotten sometimes.
Well, see the reason, and you like watching them. The reason I don't like watching them is because podcasts allow me to listen to them while I do other things.
Yeah. No, I listen to them and watch them
when I'm driving, when I'm mowing the lawn, when I'm vacuuming the house, when I'm practicing guitar, when I'm playing video games. If I'm just grinding out,
listen to
if I'm playing like I've been playing Red Dead Redemption 2 lately.
Oh, cool.
If I'm just basically running errands for people, I'll just turn on podcasts. No story shit's happening. I'll just listen to podcasts and kill people.
Exactly. Why not? You have a conversation, you're learning, you're learning about something somebody knows a lot about, right?
Yeah.
Just like that's
sometimes.
That's why you guys
or I'm listening to Chris D'Elia and Bill Burr just bullshit.
Oh yeah. Well, they're hilarious. The Congratulations podcast is fucking so. I overheard somebody the other day say,
"Really?
Oh yeah, I listen to podcasts. It was at the Playroom Festival. Okay. I listen to podcasts Congratulations and Joe Rogan. And I was like, everybody does, bro.
Yeah.
Ones.
It's so funny though.
Those are the greatest ones.
I haven't seen a lot of people.
Tom Segura's Your Mom.
Yeah. So my top two are Bill Burr's Monday Morning Podcast and Chris D'Elia's Congratulations.
One I've been listening to a lot lately is Dr. Drew After Dark. It's really good.
Yeah.
It's kind of just out there.
Yeah, probably not my thing.
It's a lot of medical jargon, but
there's definitely some podcasts that I subscribe to, like Theo Von's. I won't listen to every episode.
No, but
if he has someone that I like on there, same thing with Fighter and the Kid.
He's a great interviewer.
If Chris D'Elia's on the Fighter and the Kid, I'll listen to Fighter and the Kid.
Yeah, dude. The Fighter and the Kid's good though. I do like it without. I like it when Theo's on.
I heard Schaub's special tanked. Did you hear that?
No,
I heard it
didn't
was
hear that.
very not good.
Oh no!
Like most people agree, it was not good at all.
I gotta listen to it then. I gotta check it out.
I have not seen it myself, but
Well, you know, you can't
anyway,
win them all.
if there's one thing
He's
I
so
love,
young at it.
almost-
He's so only like 2 years into it.
if music is my love 100%, comedy is my love like 97%.
They're very close in lifestyle and in like the art of it all, you
Yeah.
know, and learning and like taking a long time to figure it all out. Yeah, it's very similar.
We have a couple other things to hit, but we'll save it for next time. So let's hit your upcoming shows, plug your upcoming shows, and we'll be done.
Yeah, Prep and Barry will be playing July 3rd at well, actually that show's not. I'm not gonna announce that yet because it might not happen. So
It's not 100%.
July 6th for sure at the Milestone, and July 17th at the Milestone. We're opening for a Swedish. Did I tell you about this?
You told me about that. You wanted us to play, but we couldn't.
Post-hardcore / pop punk. That's what they are, which is crazy.
I don't like labels
and they're looking
like that,
for,
dude. I really
yeah,
don't
I know,
like
me
labels
neither.
like
They're
that.
too specific. What are you?
It's like you're fucking rock. Shut up.
You're
Like,
rock. You're in the rock genre. I agree. But you know, like when I watch their video, like I don't even know how that.
Are you rock or you metal?
Yeah,
That's it.
Exactly. There's like a harder rock, and there's
Or you can be like you can be rock / metal.
Yeah, that's where I'm at. Somewhere in between.
Those are your three options if you're in that world.
Yeah.
You know.
So, anyways, we're playing with them, and that's gonna be cool. Play with a band from Sweden. It'll be neat.
Yeah.
We'll talk to them and shit.
We have our calendar got pretty full because we had one of our agents.
Dude, you guys are playing so many shows. How many are you gonna name here? 'Cause First of all, some of them are way out.
We're booked through December basically. Yeah, I'm not gonna name that
Just
many.
plug like the first.
Honestly,
yeah.
there's really not that many to plug because I mean everyone that listens to this podcast doesn't live around us really. But
why not?
Yeah, sure. So June 28th, we're at Wild Wing, Gastonia. Never been there. July 4th, that's a private party. You're going to come to that. That's going to be a lot of fun.
Yep.
I want to get you included, but I just don't know how. So we'll figure it
We'll
out.
figure it out. So I can sing a lot of stuff.
July 12th, we are at Hickory Tavern, Ballantine. So far to date, my favorite place to play.
Yeah.
We had a blast.
That was
there.
a good one. Yeah.
And then July 13th, we're at Siggy's, which I've never been to. Those are the two
Never
we
been
need
to
you
that one
for,
either.
July 12th and 13th.
Siggy's Bar and tapas, dude. You know what tapas are, right?
Appetizers, right?
Yeah, they're like
Yep.
small portions of
That's
food.
a Spanish word, I believe.
But they're
like
really-
Spain.
I'm not sure where it's from actually, but I know there was this tapas place in Iceland,
it's a
dude, that was
Spanish
to
thing.
die for. But anyways, tapas are badass.
And then I'll just get us to the July here. And
Yeah.
then July 19th at Wild Wing. And that's in
Charlotte.
Charlotte. Are we really
Nice.
playing that one? No, that's the one in Airsley. I need to actually change that. That's incorrect.
It's Airsley.
Yeah, I didn't say that anywhere on here. And there's another one in Charlotte at the Epicenter. So yeah. So Friday, July 19th at Wild Wing, Airsley. So
Cool.
that's I know a few of our listeners live over in the Lake Wiley area.
Cool.
That's kind of near them. So and then if you are interested in seeing where we're going to be, because we got some out of town shows, we got some in Georgia and stuff coming up.
Oh, cool.
So it's just lamaybe.com/shows, I think. lamaybe.com, like Los Angeles maybe. Maybe like yes, no, maybe. .com/shows. Yep.
Is there
that's
any
it.
other kind of maybe?
I don't know, dude. Some people think I'm saying baby. Some people think like, what'd you
LA
say? Like,
baby.
judging by the
I've
fact of how
heard-
many times I have to repeat myself to people,
Yeah,
they're
it's just-
not getting it. So
Just because what does it mean? You know, it's not something that immediately they know
Yeah,
what it means.
yeah,
And that's the
so-
same thing with prep and Barham. They're like, what? You know, they
Prep
don't know.
and what?
They don't know.
Get the fuck outta
Yeah.
So anyway, we're gonna hop off here, listen to this thing, hopefully dig the shit out of it, and plug it
put it
in.
on
It's gonna
there,
be a
yeah.
lot of fun. So Dallas Dwight signing off.
Matt Solly, I'm out.
I'm out. I had the last word.
Okay.
Be sure to subscribe, rate, and review wherever you listen to podcasts. Thanks for listening, and see you next week on the Musicians Talk Show.